Hi everyone, and welcome to Mental Health Myth Busting with That's Mental. Today is myth number 1. Therapy is only for crazy people. Let's bust that myth. So back in the day, and even as early as 20 to 25 years ago, therapy was a pretty taboo subject. If you think about it, therapy or the practice of psychotherapy is less than 200 years old from what I found in my research. So it's normal that people are still becoming familiar with the practice, still getting to know it, what it means. And of course there were times early on where people were practicing things like lobotomies, and you hear a lot of horror stories about that. So in a way, it's understandable that it comes with its set of stigma and mystery as well, because it wasn't very well understood. No one really talked about having a therapist. Sometimes they'd refer to going to the shrink, which I think has quite a negative connotation, but it was all hush-hush. And it's only been quite recently, actually, that people have started talking more about it, because therapy is a lot more than straitjackets and psychiatric wards, which is how they're often portrayed in the media, actually. In the media we see neurotic women or wives who want to kill people. We see psychopaths. We see serial killers who need therapy or didn't get enough therapy. We see very, very damaged people. We also see people who suffer from bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. So basically what we're being shown is like really the extreme aspect of what mental health can look like, and often it's not even really being portrayed correctly, because if you met someone who had schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, I doubt that they would tell you that that's what it's really like for them. Or like I said, we see people who have been responsible for mass murders or shootings, and then in that case it's kind of like the therapist failed them. So if you think about it, the way the media portrays therapy and the way we talk about it in our society isn't really that positive either. So it makes a lot of sense that people don't really understand it well. There's a negative image about it, and so you don't want to go because you think, yeah, well, I'm not crazy, I'm fine, I just have some small problems. Why would I go see a therapist? The truth is, we could probably all do with going to therapy at some point in our lives. It really helps to talk to someone who is neutral and who's impartial to you and your situation. If anything, I really think that's one of the main benefits you can get out of therapy, of course, other than working through your issues. So here's a few reasons that are perfectly normal, that are part of everyday life, that why you might seek out the help of a therapist. You might be going through a very difficult life event, such as death, a divorce, or a really horrible breakup. These have a huge emotional impact on people. It's completely normal, and sometimes people struggle to get through it by themselves, and it makes a lot of sense. You cannot just from one day to the next get over it. It might take you a long period of time, and you might feel like you need help to get through it. Maybe you're having relationship trouble, whether it's romantically, whether it's with friends, whether it's with your family, and maybe this is something that you want help with, again, that you don't know how to deal with it by yourself, or perhaps you feel like you just want a new solution or a new way of looking at things. Perhaps you're having to look after someone who has an illness, and this is very taxing for you emotionally. Or you're just in a situation where you have a lot of responsibility on you and people depending on you, and this is stressful. That would also be another reason to seek out help, emotional and mental support. And then perhaps, as I like to talk about, you're experiencing a lot of stress at work. Maybe you're extremely overworked, maybe you're feeling burnt out, maybe you are already burnt out, or you think you're getting there. And in this case you're wondering what you should do, and you're looking for help, and of course then you should definitely ask for it. And last but not least, maybe you're just feeling a little bit unhappy in life in general. Maybe you have low self-esteem, maybe you just don't really know what's going on, but you just don't feel great, and you can't shake it and you can't seem to get out of it. So these are all perfectly valid and non-crazy reasons. I mean, as you can see, they're all pretty normal. I'm pretty sure everybody has experienced this at some point in their life. So it's not like you're having a huge mental breakdown or suddenly, you know, experiencing split personalities that you have to pick up the phone to a therapist. And it's also not that your family is now dragging you there because they think that you're out of control. No, these are all perfectly normal reasons why you would seek help. Or another very valid reason, and actually one of my favorite reasons, is that you might just want to work on yourself. You might just want to get better, be a better person. You might be curious about understanding yourself better, your life, what you've been through, your past experiences, and you might just want to talk to a therapist for that reason. And again, this is amazing. It's a great reason to call, great reason to visit, and definitely not crazy. So, as you can see, therapy isn't just for crazy people, it's for everyday people who are living normal lives and who just need a little help from someone who's not in their close circle, who's a professional and has, you know, a non-biased opinion. So, myth busted, I think, mission accomplished. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to share if you want to and you think this could be relevant. And if you have another myth that you want me to bust, then please let me know in the comments.